Welcome back to another episode of the TalkBall Tweakers podcast.
Sir.
I think this is episode 20.
20, 21, something like that.
It's supposed to be 21.
It was supposed to be 21. I messed up. I take full responsibility. That is why there hasn't been a podcast episode.
We're going to release bonus
weeks.
content from
Everyone makes mistakes.
We'll release some
like my
bonus
parents
content.
22 years ago.
Bro, come on. From the pod? Oh, my God.
We're like a minute into
Come
it.
on, dog.
Come on, well, it's been 2 weeks. We got to get
Come
back
on,
crazy.
dog. Oh, my God.
But that's how you come back from our hiatus? That's crazy.
Which one's the drum? No.
Oh, goodness.
All right.
Yeah, I accidentally discarded some files and some footage from our last episode and didn't get up. So that's why we have been gone for like a week and a half, I think, or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But we're back. So, and NBA playoffs, we're in the conference finals. So,
Yeah, we missed a lot.
hey, perfect time to come back. He asked me. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. But, I mean, hey, how you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
bro.
that.
We're great. I mean, like, I'm a Nets fan, and Lunga craps on me for rooting for the Knicks, but Knicks are in the conference finals for the first time in our lives. There's
Lunga
4
doesn't
teams.
even know basketball.
Doesn't know basketball. There's 4 teams left, and I think everyone's a good story in itself. Like,
Yeah.
you know how there's years in not only this sport, in the NBA, but any sport where you're just like, shit, it's going to be this team again. Like the
Yeah.
Dodgers or the Patriots or the Chiefs or...
Yep.
The NBA, I'm going to be happy regardless of who it is and
Oh, for
stuff.
sure.
Like, if the Knicks lose in the finals, I'm going to be upset for like all my friends that are Knicks fans, but I'll be happy for the Thunder or T-Wolves. I'll really be happy for any team that wins, and that's cool. And yeah, that's
There's going to be a lot of superstars winning their first ring. That's what I like about it. I hate when there's dynasties or it's back-to-back and it's the same squad.
It starts to get boring unless it's
I mean,
LeBron James.
This year, it's like...
That's me.
It's true. This year, there's like 4 storylines. That could
more than
possibly
4.
Yeah, way
Yeah.
more. I mean, like 4 big ones just because of the 4 teams. But
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of storylines that could come out of every single one of them. That's what I really like about it. And one of these superstars is going to win their first, so that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah. But without further ado, let's talk ball. All right. So starting with a recap of the conference semifinals. Where do we want to start?
I'll start us off. First off, before I talk slander on the Celtics, prayers out to Jason Tatum. I've never been a fan of his, but I will be one of the first to admit how good he is at basketball. Achilles injuries suck. Prayers go out to him. Nobody likes to see that, right?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Go New York, go New York, go. Nah, it's just cool for the Knicks. And I think the biggest thing to come out of that team was manufactured to beat the Celtics, right? That's why they brought in Karl Anthony Towns. That's why they brought in Mikal Bridges. And for the first 2 games, it looked like they had no shot. And especially after game 3, I thought the Celtics were going to do a gentleman's sweep or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Knicks in game 4, they responded. And the Knicks in game 6, look, I mean, no Tatum, I get it. They now have the best player on the court in Brunson, arguably. Mm-hmm. But the Knicks winning 4 games against a team that blew them out for years and years and years and making the conference finals for the first time in 25 years, that's really cool. And then on the other side, Steph, hopefully you're okay. I liked what Draymond said about not saying if Steph didn't get hurt, we're going to win the series. Like, he was classy about it.
Yeah.
And then, I think, like, when we were first talking about the playoffs, we agreed that regardless of who came out of the Nuggets-Clippers series, the Nuggets were going to be the team that would give the Thunder a better matchup. Mm-hmm. And they did.
Absolutely.
So, no, it's been good. Yeah, it's been good.
So I want to start. I want to start with that Knicks Celtics series. Yeah, prayers up to Jason Tatum, by the way. Got surgery done though, so that's good. Good news all around. Should be good in about 9 months, as Dad said. So that's good to hear. I mean, where do the Celtics go from here? Is it just running it back, or
I mean, they weren't even supposed to run
is
it back.
Jaylen Brown gone?
I don't think Jaylen Brown's gone because I don't think anybody's going to take on his contract.
Yeah.
Like, he's overpaid. He's the highest paid player in the league, but he's still a very good player. Like, I still think Jaylen Brown's a top 20 player in the league.
Yeah.
And he's in his bag. I mean, Shams reported that that the Celtics were gonna not blow up the team, but there were gonna be changes, and that was before Tatum got hurt.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's a superstar out there that they might trade for, because I can't see them rebuilding or something like that. There's just a chance that they'll be like the team that's 6 or 7 seed in the NBA or in the East, and then Tatum comes back, and all of a sudden they're contenders. So I could see a Warriors like trajectory. Giannis, maybe. I don't think they.
That was the big one.
I don't think he'd go to the Celtics.
I mean, I think he would go to the. First of all, he said he'd prefer to stay in the East. If he joined the Celtics, it's not like he's already joining a super team. Like he would have to do something. Plus, Porzingis is probably gone. Holiday probably goes back to Milwaukee. They might want Pritchard, maybe a few first. Like they definitely want a few first. So they're gonna have to give up a lot to get Giannis. And there's no one in the NBA that wouldn't do that, except maybe a few teams that would give up, half of their roster for Giannis.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that if the Celtics looked at it and they said we could have Giannis and Tatum. The problem is Giannis can't shoot and Tatum is not the greatest closer. But at the same time, I think the Celtics just need to adopt a new form of basketball. I think that's what their Achilles heel this year has been.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. Yeah. But that's what I think that it has been is because, they've just been a 3-point shot. Last year it served them well, right? They won the title. Everything was great. Yeah. This year we're figuring out sometimes in games, unless you have that historic run where everything just is keyed up to perfection, you're going to have issues. Remember when Houston missed 26 straight threes and they were under D'Antoni and they were just jacking threes? It happens. And so just kind of going deeper into that series real quick, I'll just say this. I was impressed how the Knicks went into Madison Square, TD Garden, and won those first 2 games. That was very impressive to me. Because after the first game, I was like, okay, an ambush or whatsoever.
Right?
Then they came back next and then won a close 91-90 game. And they hadn't beat the Celtics all year. So for them to do that in the first 2 games set the precedent. And then from there, it was like, all they have to do is take care of business.
Yeah, I think there was one article in The Athletic because the Knicks looked like a team with a lot of flaws against the Pistons. Like, the Knicks did not beat the Pistons in more than 6 points, I'm pretty sure. And, not to rub it in, Jalen Brunson's shot in Game 6 just sparked light in that team and just gave them belief that they probably won't beat the Celtics, but they could.
Yeah, for sure.
The Knicks were the tougher team throughout the entire Celtics series. I think the Pistons were tougher. I remember what Malik Beasley said before Game 6 after the Pistons went into Game 5 at the Garden and beat the Knicks and staved off elimination. Malik Beasley said that they're the mentally tougher team.
Yeah.
I think that sat with the Knicks not only for Game 6 at Little Caesars, but that entire Celtics series because did you see anybody pick the Knicks anywhere? I don't think so.
Not even Knicks fans picked. Even Knicks
fans
like Stephen A. Smith, who's a Knicks person, did not.
He literally prayed on first take, just like Boston, take it easy on him.
Yeah,
that's all bulletin board material. And as the series went on, they were the tougher team, and it would have been very easy for them to lie down after Game 3, where they got absolutely destroyed. Boston finally shot the ball well.
Oh yeah,
but they didn't. And Game 4 was a close game, and they won a close game, wire to wire, and that was the first time they did that series. And props to them because they're a mentally and physically tough team, and they're showing it, and that's why they're in the conference finals for the first time in 25 years.
I think also the difference is the fact that the Celtics rely on each other more than any other team that is good.
Yeah,
and so
100%.
When it comes to the clutch, it's supposed to be Tatum taking the shots. But if Tatum is not a mentally tough superstar, he's not going to. There was a lot of opportunities. Remember the block that Mikal Bridges had was like Game 2?
Yeah. And Game 1.
Game 1.
It was both of them.
Snatched it in Game 1 and blocked him in Game 2. That's having the dog within you to be like, I'm the guy, I'm going to go get this shot. Because he had an opportunity on Mitchell Robinson to go behind the back and then pull up from a perfect shot right at the elbow.
Yeah.
And he lost the ball.
Exactly.
So when you look at it that way, then you see Brunson. Most clutch player in the league, right? 2 times last year. Back to back. So you look at it that way, you keep the game close, all you got to do is rely on your superstar who's way more clutch than Tatum is, and that's what separated them in the end, I think.
One more thing before you go. I remember watching Game 1 at home, and we were texting, and you texted, Jalen Brunson is the coldest motherfucker on planet Earth. That's one of the best texts I've received. And I even shut the game off when they were down 20 because I thought it was over, but it just speaks to what they are. And then again, I think the Knicks won this series much more than Boston lost it. I think Boston lost Game 1 and not necessarily Game 2. I think the Knicks actually, Mikal was gross in the fourth quarter of Game 2.
Yeah.
You can't really blame Boston, and they're not going to run it back. They're going to be different. I thought this was pure Knicks going, we were built to beat Boston, so let's go beat Boston. And that's what they did.
No, they were absolutely prepared, and they were the more tough team. They were the more physical team. and they straight up beat Boston. Like there's nothing around it. I think you said it perfectly. They won the series. Boston didn't lose that series. New York absolutely won that series.
Yeah.
You go into Boston and win both games. Game 1 and 2, you take those. It's a real good indicator that you're the better team.
Yeah.
In that moment. And so I think they were prepared. I think a big like this Knicks team, they got a vengeance about them from last year, and you add Cat to that, and I really don't like Cat, man. I don't like. I just I don't know, man. He's so don't get me wrong. He's a very good basketball player. It's just the personality I can't get with it. I just don't know what it is about him. But
after all that,
SEC,
and then what? A week ago in the press conference, he saw or post game. He's like, so shout out to New York. My brothers in Rucker Park. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Crazy.
What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, that was crazy.
You gotta stop it. So he's just corny to me, dog. But but no, Cat's a really good basketball player, and I think that's a big difference for this Knicks team is when he plays well, and he's been playing well all playoffs. They're lights out, man. They're very hard to beat because he's a tough player to stop when he gets going. And so, shout out to New York. A quick question though: what the hell is up with Kristaps Porzingis?
I don't know.
Everybody's on Twitter saying AIDS. I'm
bro.
like, dog, what is going on?
That was crazy. Everyone's like, that's an actual
that's an actual symptom of AIDS. And I'm like,
come on, let's slow down.
I'm like, what?
I saw the picture of a heart going into him when he went swivel into his armpit, and someone was like, oh, # not contagious. I was like, what are we doing?
I was like, so that's my thing is like, what's the conspiracy here around Kristaps having AIDS?
Here's the thing about Kristaps. All I know is the man constantly gets hurt. I like him, but he constantly gets hurt, and he doesn't show up when he's supposed. Even last year, remember, he had the whole knee injury.
Yeah, he was hurt throughout the entire postseason.
He's never been that great in the postseason.
And actually, it's funny that's funny you say that, and that we're talking about him right now is because remember when we did that mock around the horn in JA's class, and we had the topic of Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh, you guys had that,
and we were like. I think we both made the point of like, okay, yeah, Kristaps is back. Like, he's a good difference maker, but what the hell is the difference if he's just going to be hurt? Like,
every now and then,
he hasn't played a full season since 2017.
Yeah, I don't even think he's played a full 82 in his career.
His value is like he gives you like 1 or 2 games a series. He gives you like 20, and that's about it.
Yeah,
then he's hurt,
and then he's hurt. So there's no point about that. So yeah, I seen the AIDS thing. I had to bring that.
No,
up.
that was hilarious and stuff. And
but yeah,
he's always hurt. I mean, like he was great in the finals last year. It's just like if he's hurt and not bringing you anything, you can't really sit here and say
he's definitely he's definitely a part of their trade piece if they go get a star.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I also liked how Kristaps said, "A part of my heart is really happy for New York because as someone that." Was at the draft when they drafted Porzingis and the crying kid and how pissed everyone was.
Tingus Pingus.
And it obviously did not work out in New York, but like it's cool for him to say that, I guess. Like I thought that everybody would hate him, but he's pretty likable, I'll say.
Yeah, he's not a
don't
bad
tell
guy.
Longo.
He's just he fades on people. Let's just say that. I feel like he always sets these expectations because he's 7'3". He was Wemby before Wemby. And like he's less athletic, but he was Wemby before Wemby, 7'3" shooting the ball.
Yeah.
But he can never stay healthy. That's the problem with these super tall guys. Never can stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
it's gonna be an interesting series. The other thing is the Knicks have not. I'm not trying to jinx them, but the Tibbs curse. We know that's a real thing.
Knock on wood.
That's going forward. That's what I'm looking for.
So that's what I've been waiting for. But like,
it just hasn't happened. So I don't know if it will or if it's
that's
coming
what I'm
down
saying.
the line.
That's what I'm saying because it usually happens semifinals.
Yeah. But maybe this year. But see, listen, that's what I said. Teams that are not historically great, usually everything has to line up. The Celtics last year, everything had to line up. Their shooting worked so well that it won them a championship. And this year, it lost them in the semifinals. Yeah. So it's like maybe this is the year the Knicks are like,
shit's lining up for them.
They might not have a better shot than this because. They're against the Pacers, and we'll talk about that soon. I think the Knicks are a better team than Indiana.
It's a great rivalry.
A great rivalry. Oh my God, you can't guarantee the Knicks being back next year in this situation,
especially
because
because and then Yeah. Because how are you going to pay all these guys?
One, how are you going to pay all these guys? All those guys are going to come back next year, but Boston's still there. Cleveland's going to be better because, especially after what happened, which we're about to talk about.
We're about to talk about, yeah.
Philly's going to be back and like decent. Detroit, after another year, they're probably going to bring in another star. Brooklyn, once they get Giannis. No, I'm joking.
Dude, man.
Orlando. Today, dog. I'm not going to say Miami really, but like
Pacers get older.
It's very hard to get another shot at this, and that's why there hasn't been a repeat champion in so long. Yeah, no, I think this is the Knicks' best shot at it. And regardless of whether it's the Wolves or the Thunder, if they get to the finals, I think the Knicks will be the underdog. Still might be their best shot, and I think Jalen Brunson's always the most clutch player on the court.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, moving on to the other semifinal series in the East, Cavaliers, Pacers.
What the helly?
Cavs, man. Cavs dropped
2015
the
Hawks.
ball, dude. 2015 Hawks in the flesh.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I know Donovan Mitchell isn't a superstar. Are we gonna hold him to this? I don't think he's a superstar. I think he's a high star. I think he's at the highest level of a star. I don't think he's a superstar.
Donovan Mitchell's not a superstar.
No, I don't think so. I think he's
Why?
I think he's a high star.
Why don't you think Donovan Mitchell's a superstar?
No, I think he's a superstar.
What?
Donovan Mitchell's not a superstar?
I don't think he's a superstar. I think there's only a select number of superstars. I don't think he's a superstar. I think he's a high star. I don't think he's a superstar.
Donovan Mitchell's not a superstar to you.
I mean, the numbers can back it up that he can be averaging 30, but I don't think he's a star.
No, Donovan Mitchell's a star.
I don't think he's a superstar.
No, he's a superstar.
I think superstar is so widely used in the league.
Yeah. I see. That's my definition of superstars. There's maybe like 10 to 13 players who can be listed as superstars. Players that undeniably cannot be traded, or if they are traded, it's universal that it's ridiculous.
Oh,
bro.
Yeah.
No, he's a superstar.
Yeah, I still think he's a superstar.
He's a superstar, bro. He is.
I do agree he wasn't there this series.
What about it makes him a superstar to you?
Donovan Mitchell's consistent, very consistent night in and night out.
So this is my question.
But, and you want to look at, and we can look at the numbers too. Like,
no, I know he has high numbers. That's not my point. But my point is this: quite like Embiid,
36 in the bubble.
I mean, everybody.
Yeah, he was disgusting.
I mean, everyone
32 the next year.
I'm not saying that he's not good in the playoffs. I didn't say that. I'm just saying the man has never gone to the conference. Has never been.
This year, he damn near averaged 30.
That's fine. He can average 30. I'm just saying I don't think he's a... Okay, if he's a superstar, then we got to hold him to the same level as Embiid. Because we don't talk about Donovan Mitchell like we talk about Embiid.
We don't, though, because Embiid has won an MVP.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's why that's why Embiid is a superstar and Donovan Mitchell is not. That's why I think he's a high star. That's
I
why
would put Donovan
because
Mitchell.
he hasn't won an MVP.
It's
not because he's
it's not because he's not won an MVP.
I don't think that's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I think Donovan Mitchell's in the 15 to 20 range in the NBA, and I consider that a superstar. And the guy's been so different in the playoffs. Can you make an argument that a team can't win a championship with him as your number one? Absolutely. Yeah. Because I don't think he wasn't good in Game 5. There's definitely some. I don't think a team could win.
There's superstars that you can argue that for sure.
I don't know.
Who?
You consider Jaylen Brown a superstar?
No, I consider Jaylen Brown a star. I don't consider him a superstar. That's my point. I consider about 12 to 13 superstars. The players that are expected to go to the Hall of Fame are superstars right now. The best players in the league, the best 13 players. Because when you get 15 to 20, I don't think that's superstar. I think that's star. Superstar to me is somebody who is undeniably worldly famous and that you can't deny is going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. Donovan Mitchell might make the Hall of Fame, but his probability is so much more slim than a lot of guys. And to me, that's not a superstar. I don't think Jaylen Brown is a superstar. I think Jason Tatum's a superstar. I think Jaylen Brown is of the highest star.
Do you think Cade Cunningham is a superstar?
I think he's a rising superstar. There's a difference. There's different levels to this.
Yeah.
Because he's so young and he hasn't gotten to the point where he has been depended on to be as clutch.
With that rising word.
Because there's levels to it.
Okay.
There's guys who are young, who are upcoming that I think are going to be a superstar, but he's in that star, but he's going to shoot past the star.
Do you think Tyrese Halliburton's a superstar? Or
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
If Tyrese Halliburton, come on.
He's a superstar.
So Donovan Mitchell's not a superstar.
I think you got to put Mitchell
that's
there.
crazy.
But
close.
To me, this Halliburton one is so recent because I wouldn't. If you asked me a year ago, I probably wouldn't have put him in the superstar category. But now, if you're asking me, it's like I don't know. He's in the Eastern Conference Finals, and he
made the conference finals last year too.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. Last year I still wouldn't have considered him a superstar.
That's fair. But
see, that's the thing. I don't know if Tyrese Halliburton is a super. He might have just entered into that class. I don't know.
Okay, so you don't know if Tyrese Halliburton is a superstar, but you know damn well that Donovan Mitchell's not a superstar.
How many years has Donovan Mitchell played in the league?
Like 7 or 8. I think
Donovan Mitchell's been in the league for 8 years.
Damn.
And
my math pod.
And how many times I'll give it to you, the Jazz portion of his career, he really only had Rudy Gobert kind of as his help. He really didn't have anyone else.
Yeah.
But like, if he's a superstar, why do I not hear anything about? I'm not trying to trash the man, but we don't hold him to the. We talk about Embiid not making the conference final. You see it on Twitter. You see people talk about it. You see people joke about it.
Embiid is an MVP.
Yeah.
He is an NBA.
But
MVP.
even if he hadn't won MVP, you would have still expected him to get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
But also, like, Donovan Mitchell goes about his business so quietly compared to
That's
a lot
true.
of other superstars in this league, and also, like, not to disrespect Cleveland too much, but they're Cleveland, and so it's sort of hard to put them to that standard until they get there.
But
like last year,
you can't argue it's just because it's Cleveland.
No, I'm not. And like, I mean, Embiid's finished in MVP voting. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell's ever gotten an MVP vote.
Yeah.
Right? And he just
I don't think he has.
Yeah, and this was the first year the Cavs were a legit contender. They lost to the Celtics in round 2 last year, and there were a few others, and we'll talk about it. Mitchell was not good in Game 5, and he's definitely one of the reasons the Cavs lost this series. He's still a superstar.
The thing to me is like
he's gonna be an all NBA.
But here's the thing: if he's not a superstar, why do we not hold him to the same standard as superstars?
I think it's because there's someone else that you could always make fun of more. Like, I genuinely do. Like, you go first.
No, that's actually that's actually a better point than what I was gonna say. I was just gonna say more so that it's. I feel like it's always been because he's been in Utah.
That's valid.
And it's like, okay, well, no one expected Utah to be here in the first place.
That's valid.
But he's the number one option on that team. He's leading that team.
But
I think that's why. But now that he's in Cleveland, I will say that he needs to like do something next year in the playoffs 100%. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Jason Tatum doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Is Jaylen Brown a superstar? Or is he just a number one on a team that goes to the playoffs and is really good and we have no expectations for?
I still think that a team could. I still think a team can make a deep run with Jaylen Brown as their.
They can make a
one.
deep run, but they can't win the final. You can't win it all.
Yeah, and that's where I put. That's where.
But every superstar, we think they can win a final. Every superstar, no matter who's around them, we know they can win. They have the potential if they're given the right help.
And
Donovan Mitchell, it's not that way to me. Everything was queued up for him. Now you can say this is 1 year, but to me, it's like everything was queued up for you. You were the guy.
Mobley and Garland were playing hurt. I'm not trying to make excuses, but
true.
You're right. Keep going.
Some of the games they played, they still lost, and he played bad in those games. I'm just saying, I feel like superstar is an exclusive club where only maybe 13 guys you can look at and by the eye test say, we can win a title with him. Mm-hmm. I don't think I look at him and say that.
Who would you put in the same tier as Donovan Mitchell in the league right now?
Yeah. Jaylen Brown, for example. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think like super high stars. I don't know.
De'Aaron Fox? Or is that too low?
Yeah, no, he's too low.
Alperen Sengun?
He's mid-level star.
Paolo
is a high level star. He's not a superstar yet. He's the number one on the Magic, and he's made deep runs.
Would you?
He might be a superstar one day.
So you're basically okay. So like the number one option on every single NBA basketball team
is not a superstar.
They're not a superstar.
No,
is what
it's
you're
not
saying.
a superstar.
Our number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can kind of get down with that, maybe.
I don't hate that you're calling him a superstar. I wouldn't consider him a superstar.
I was just thrown off
the
by
marketing.
It.
You also
I
have
was
to
just
think
thrown
about
off by it because I feel like Donovan Mitchell has solidified himself as a superstar.
But here's the thing: it's also the marketing aspect. That's how I also think about it.
Okay, say I don't take marketing into account though when I think about superstar.
Because when I think about superstar, I think about off the court as well.
No, I'm thinking straight on the court. If you're getting are you getting buckets or not?
But see, everybody in the NBA in that regard is a star because everyone is the greatest at what they do. It's just Donovan Mitchell can't be a superstar because he's not marketed. It's not just the marketing, but that's an aspect of it, right? You look at Ant. And no one before Ant, very little people wore Adidas shoes unless they were wearing maybe Hardens. Ant comes along and now he's got a hit shoe. He's in the media. He does everything. Like it's like more than that. I mean, you could drop 30 a game. Mm-hmm. But like Kawhi, for example, Kawhi is a superstar. Not just because he drops 30 and he goes home, but because he's won 2 finals MVPs and you can win a title as him with your number one.
Yeah.
Right? So I just don't see Donovan Mitchell and I'm saying, hey, I can win a championship with him as my number one and just maybe a good number 2.
I don't know, bro. He averaged 34 against the Pacers.
That's fine, but I'm not saying that but listen,
he was hooping, dog.
So was Jaylen Brown in the finals, but he's not a superstar. The highest of stars can drop 30, 40 a game in the playoffs.
Jaylen Brown's a superstar.
I can't get behind that. I don't know where he would be a superstar just because he drops 30. That's just really good basketball. That's not superstar. Superstar is an upper echelon of levels where you can't fathom to touch.
Okay.
Because that person has ascended above everybody else. So like Luka, Bron, Giannis, KD, like they're just above everybody else.
All right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Talent and gameplay and career. That's just what it is to me.
Okay.
Now, if Donovan Mitchell wins a title as the number one, I'm clearly wrong. Mm-hmm. I will admit I'll be the first one to come on here with a Donovan Mitchell jersey and say I'm wrong. I just don't think you can win. Number one, it's really hard to win a championship with a guard who is shorter than 6'3". Very hard. Unless you're Steph or Isaiah Thomas, it's nearly impossible.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, him as your number one.
Jalen Brunson too, by the way. But
yeah, I mean, it'd be hard for him to win a title. But if he does it, he did the nearly impossible. If Donovan Mitchell was the number 2 and Luka was your 1, I think you can win a title like that. If he was the number 2 to Giannis, if he was the number 2 to LeBron, you can win a title with that, but not as your number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, for Cleveland, it's a shame they didn't make the conference finals, and I don't know if I would have considered, or you would have considered Donovan Mitchell a superstar if they beat Indiana. But like, because then either Boston or New York was going to walk in there, and that would have been interesting. It just lined up so well for the Cavs, and obviously they got hurt. But losing in 5 to a team that is worse than you, like there's just no excuse for that.
Yeah,
especially when you won how many games did they win in the regular season? Like
68?
Yeah, 68 or something. Like
I think it was 63.
Yeah, well, a big number regardless. Like it's just like it's inexcusable.
64.
Yeah, it's just inexcusable and stuff. And like, yeah, next year they'll run it back, but it's hard to have faith in them, especially when next year in the postseason they'll run into a team like the Knicks or a team like the Celtics or even the Pistons. You'll be like, look at what happened last year. So now it's just about beating those accusations for them. I mean, Donovan Mitchell said it well, like, we're going to use all this as material. That's just a good way to put it, and they will.
For sure.
But they all got to be better. They know that. And another year under Kenny.
We have breaking news.
Ooh.
What happened?
Oklahoma City Thunder star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has won the NBA MVP award.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, Jesus.
We just entered the.
I know, Narnia. We just entered Narnia.
Jesus Christ.
What was that?
Yeah, that was not too. That was not too good. Good for Shai. Makes sense, I guess. I would have given it to Jokic, but voter fatigue's a thing, and Shai's a top 3 player in the league.
Yeah,
so.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, NBA MVP. I think it was funny because the discussion. The discussion before that Game 7 on Sunday was like, why have they not announced MVP yet?
Yeah, someone said hanging above the court.
Hanging above the court. No, that would have been fire though.
That would have
fire.
But we know who won that now.
But I feel like it was expected in terms of just like the year that Shai had, but also voter fatigue. We know voter fatigue's a thing. It stopped numerous superstars from getting multiple MVP awards. I think most notably is LeBron James.
Yeah.
I think if voter fatigue wasn't a thing, he'd probably have 6.
At least.
So
Sorry, you're good.
I think we knew that was a thing. with this whole discussion. But yes, if you really look at the numbers and you look at the impact of who was the actual most valuable player to their team, it was 100% Nikola Jokic.
No, I'm just playing.
Cade Cunningham. Well, yeah, I mean, he has a great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jokic.
He does have a great. Cade has
actually
he has a great argument.
Cade in some statistics.
No, if you take Cade off Detroit, they're not even gonna. They're
some
not a playoff team.
But
they're not a playoff team. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, that's not a shock. Yeah, of course, breaking news. But
he's the best scorer in the league. Yeah. He just is. I mean, 30 plus points in 3 straight years.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to Shea. Like, you won off.
What about my team?
Shea had a great year.
Yeah,
he did. So,
and like people,
he's scoring champ, ain't he too?
Yeah, he's scoring champ, and he was scoring champ last year too. People will always say like he's a free throw merchant, blah 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 blah. He's so good at basketball.
He is so good at basketball.
He's so good at basketball.
I just wish he would stop some of the flops, but I can't deny he is the MVP.
His step back is nasty.
Yeah. No,
his step back's nasty.
I haven't watched it yet, but LeBron was talking about his mid-range game on Two Minds.
Yeah.
He's a mid-range.
It's like that step back mid-range, bro. He gets you in a position to where like he gets so low and deep to where like he gets so
it makes
low
you
and deep, and he gets you off balance to where he steps back, and by the time he's fading, you can't block that.
Yeah, because he goes in and out, and then he takes that giant side step.
He takes that giant ass step that. Yeah,
it's impossible to defend.
It's not. Him and Tatum both do that. Tatum doesn't really shoot as many mid-range. He does that with a 3, but that side step where it's like a quick little it's nasty. But no, he definitely deserved it. I thought all year he deserved it.
Yeah.
Even with voter fatigue, I was like, you know what? You just got to give it to Shea. I mean, if it's neck and neck and the guy's got 2 or 3, then you got to give it to Shea. Voter fatigue is a real thing, and it is what it is. So
yeah, for sure.
But I think he fully deserved it. Yeah. You want to talk about the Thunder and?
But we can go over the Thunder. I mean, well, actually, real quick, let's talk Timberwolves Warriors and then Thunder Nuggets. I mean, because there's not much to talk about Timbers Warriors. Like,
I guess the main question
I'm gonna be completely honest. I give my full props to Minnesota for winning that series. Absolutely, Minnesota is a good basketball team. Anthony Edwards, Julius, like they are a good basketball team. You're lucky Steph got hurt.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna leave it at that. I just think bottom line, you're lucky Steph got hurt.
I would have still taken the Wolves, but yes, you're right. Steph would have had some 40 games.
Wouldn't be 4-1.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be 4-1. I think that series goes 7, especially after the Warriors won Game 1 and the way they won Game 1.
Yeah.
Because the Golden State was one of the best teams in the NBA since they got Jimmy. It would be a toss-up for me. Again, Wolves, great team. I don't know how many they take off the Thunder. They might win.
Yeah.
We'll do all those predictions, but like... Yeah, Steph getting hurt obviously sucks.
Yeah.
But Warriors gonna run it back with Giannis and Giannis. Steph, Jimmy, we'll see. But no, I agree with you. I probably would have said Wolves in 7, but it was obviously Wolves in 5. Steph got hurt.
Yeah.
It's fine. And shout out like Jonathan Kuminga for going off one game.
All right, well, moving on.
Can I just ask one question? Where do the Warriors go from here? Because they have a lot of decisions.
They make a trade. Well, they already said they need a center. Steve Kerr said, "I don't feel comfortable with Draymond as my starting center," so they're going to.
I mean, they've never had a same center their entire dynasty run.
Yeah.
But it's a different team, and they can't provide.
Yeah, they've never had like an elite center.
Yeah, they never
think about like. I mean, do they just run it with Post? Post is
I think they want like someone.
Well, because the big man is coming back in the NBA. It's coming back.
I could see if the Bucks tear it down. I could see Brook Lopez. If I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of other teams.
That's not
like
bad,
especially
for shooting.
If you're Dallas and you have 4 bigs. Like, do you make a trade there?
That's what I'm saying. I really do think Dallas is going to trade one of them.
I absolutely do, because by mid next season, when Kyrie's healthy, they're going to have Cooper Flag, Kyrie Irving, and Klay Thompson still going to start.
Yeah.
And then you have PJ Washington, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford.
They're going to trade PJ Washington.
Yeah, if you're Golden State, go get one of them. I'd love for them to have PJ Washington. He works perfectly.
They're going to trade Washington because Gafford's better defensively and he's taller, and then they want to keep Lively.
And I think Washington would be almost a perfect fit for Golden State, because Golden State still has one of the best defensive bigs in the league in Draymond, and while he doesn't need to match up with a 5,
they do need wings too.
They do need wings
because they're probably gonna let Kuminga go.
They're gonna let Kuminga go probably, but you have Steph and Jimmy, and you still have Podziemski, or however you pronounce his name. So like they'll be good, and then like there's a chance they trade for Giannis. Like, and there's a chance they get another
there's
start.
A good chance.
But it starts with a big for them.
That's the interesting one because I don't think they have I don't know what their picks look like, but I don't think they have enough for what the Bucks want. I think there's some other teams that are going to offer more.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I think they're going to offer what they can offer, but I think they're going to also realize they're not going to have enough to get Giannis.
Yeah.
I just think they run it back and they're going to get better. They're just going to reload and then
they're going to have to get some more pieces because I don't think they can compete next year with no center running it back again.
Yeah.
I agree.
And an older Steph. That's Steph one more year.
Yeah.
And Draymond's going to retire after his contract's done. So I think they need maybe one more piece to solidify that. Some more. PJ Washington would be good, but also another center.
Yeah, no, valid. I think there's a bunch of teams, too, in the West that are going to be that same mentality of just reloading. Like, if we wanted to switch to Denver, OKC, like, Denver's going to reload. You have one of the best players of all time in Jokic. You look at Phoenix, crappy year with Durant and Beal. What do you do there? You're still going to build around KD. Dallas is going to make the playoffs next year with Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis if they stay healthy. You got Houston, who knows what they're going to look like if they go for Giannis or if they keep their core intact. LA, both LA teams like Bron and Luka, and they're going to get a big. So I think it's just like that. They're going to reload, and it's just going to be a sweepstakes. Like, I think, yeah, it's called the Wild Wild West for a reason, and there's a reason the West is always better than the East. Like, all those teams are going to reload. It's going to be fun.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Thunder Nuggets.
Good for Denver for taking 3 games, but OKC was always going to win this series.
Yeah. I mean, it was inevitable, right?
Yeah. The thing is, I thought it was going to go to 7 personally because they just have the best player in the world, so that's why it extended that long. But we were texting in the group chat and before Game 7, and I was like, yeah, OKC's going to bury them because in a one game, if you one game winner take all, it's probably going to be OKC because they suffocate the hell out of you because they were swarming him. Oh, yeah. That's the great thing that I love watching that game. This is why we'll get to the Thunder and the T-Wolves, but the Thunder T-Wolves was so good because the defense, it's like everybody that checks in for the Thunder is great defensively and knows their role, and they swarm the ball. So you got Caruso fronting the post. You got people coming from the backside. Then you got Caruso swatting at the ball and people coming down on him. So like it's just everybody knows what they're good. It's that's the thing I love about the Thunder is that. And they bring out guys that you're like, who is this NBC? Who is this bot?
Yeah.
When I first saw Aaron Wiggins, I was like, who is this? And then I was like, oh. He's nice. Okay. Yeah. I was like, he's nice.
Dude, they just have so many guys that could do the same thing, which is give you effort on both ends of the floor. They can make threes. They could play defense. I mean, you obviously have Shea, but think of all the wings they have that could do it. Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Alex Caruso, Lou Dort might be the best on
second Jalen Williams.
Yeah, second Jalen Williams, who didn't even play last night,
and he's still really good.
And he's still pretty good, too. I mean, they have so many guys. Case and Wallace, like, they're just so deep, and they shoot the ball so well. Like, they're really hard to beat. Like, I don't know how teams beat them. Like, I wouldn't give them a ring yet now, but
yeah, no, it's
there's a reason why they're minus 170 to win the finals.
Yeah, they're so good. The one thing I said going into this playoffs was the youth and the inexperience. It just doesn't matter at this point. Like, bro, it just doesn't. Like, there's inexperience. All right, that person wants to mess up. We'll bring in another person. That person wants to mess up. They're deep. Their bench is so deep. Yeah. They can go to their 10th man, and he'll give them quality minutes.
I told y'all, or I've been saying this to everybody about the Thunder, but like they get up by 10, it's over. Game is done. You're losing to the Thunder by 10. I don't care what quarter it is. You're cooked.
You're cooked.
It's over. It's done. And that's just how good they are. That's how good they are offensively. That's how good they are defensively. That's how good they are all around. And they have so much life, like, because they're young. So they have so much, like, it's like they're starting 5, they get off the court, and then you got to check in Wiggins,
Caruso.
Yeah. Like
Wallace,
Joe.
Wallace out there dunking left-handed on Jokic. Bro. I said, oh my goodness.
Dude. Bro.
Straight up. Just right on.
It's in Jalen Williams.
That blew my mind when he dunked on him because I knew he was athletic, but it was just like he came down on
The,
them.
the Thunder lost. Yeah,
bro. He shit.
the Thunder lost 14
gosh.
games all year. They lost 14 games all year. How do you expect a team to beat them 4 times before the Thunder beat them 4 times?
Bro.
And then you got the MVP.
Yeah.
You got
the MVP, yeah.
Shea could sit for half of the game, and you'd be like, "Oh
was
man,
like
we still got Shea to deal with."
Guaranteed 30.
Guaranteed 30.
Guaranteed 30.
Dude, Chet's
dog.
playing well too. Chet's playing good basketball.
He's playing really
Chet's
well.
playing very good.
I was interested to see how he was going to match up against Randall because he's not as physical.
Yeah.
But
And then Lou Dort, bro, he be having motherfuckers in hell gates.
What can
He's
the
been doing
person
this
say?
for his
Luke
entire career.
Dortz? Luke Dortz?
Lugans Dortz.
Dorts.
Bro, he be having motherfuckers in hell gates, bro. And then he gonna come back down on the other side and pop a 3 on your, like, come
Yeah.
on, bro. That's
Yeah.
insane.
And he didn't even. Oh yeah, he made 1 3 last night. I was lying, but the guy, dude, it's just insane.
And that's
how
the thing,
many,
he don't need to.
They don't need to.
He doesn't need to make threes.
Dude, and,
He
like,
doesn't
and
need to, but he can shoot the hell out the ball.
Dude, the Thunder starting lineup had 3 combined threes yesterday.
Yeah.
Shea didn't hit one, and obviously Isaiah Hardenstein didn't shoot a 3, but
Yeah.
Isaiah Hardenstein shoot a 3 for everyone. That would be sick. But like,
Facts.
dude, they just make shots. They
Yeah.
just make
Hell
shots.
yeah.
And like, they're so good offensively. Dagno, everything he does, like, yeah, they're just they're unstoppable. They're really unstoppable. And shout out OKC crowd. I want to hear your guys' opinion on this. When they give you shirts at a playoff game, do you put on the shirt?
I'd put on the shirt, yeah.
Okay, good.
Unless I got like a fire ass jersey.
Unless
I'm
I got a
rocking.
jersey
Yeah.
or
But
it's the same color.
even if you have the fire ass jersey, like if there's the Thunder in the Thunder's arena, everybody was wearing that shirt.
No, literally, that's
And
the
that
thing.
makes for the best environment.
No,
Because look at
that-
the Warriors.
Yeah.
It didn't look as good.
No, because
Remember when
ever
Oracle-
since
remember
they
when Oracle, it was a
ever
yellow
since
pit
they
of hell,
moved
right?
from Oracle, the Warriors they
Yeah, it
haven't
was a
been-
yellow pit of hell.
No, yeah, it's not because it's a whole bunch of because now it's just a whole bunch of like rich people like just
Yeah,
and
it's
they're
too
not
it's
putting,
too corporate. It's going to be the
Yeah.
same thing for the Knicks. Like,
Yeah.
and the Knicks you could get away with it because it's the Garden and it
Yeah.
carries a different type of aura.
Oh,
The
you
Knicks
New York
don't
fans are
need it,
different.
though.
Yeah,
So
we're different,
The Knicks
but
don't need
The
it.
Knicks don't need it, but if you're like the Pistons gave out shirts,
We
right?
needed
Or
it. I
the
don't know
Bucks.
what we were doing.
Like, you
Yeah.
need these environments.
To be fair though, like Little Caesars was loud.
Oh,
as
it
hell,
was so
though.
loud,
Like,
and
Little
still,
Caesars
wear the
was
shirts.
loud.
I'm not
matters.
trying to trash on Little Caesars
Yeah.
at all, but like watch a Thunder game from this postseason on TV versus watching, I'm not even going to say the Pistons, watch like the Thunder or Indiana where they all wear yellow for Indiana.
No, yeah, it makes a
versus,
difference.
like,
It does make a difference, and but like Oklahoma City has just been like they're so good at that though.
They've
like,
done it forever,
they've
even going
done
back
it
to KD.
that
right?
KD.
Yeah.
It's always like every time I think about that era of like KD, Russ Westbrook, James Harden, that era of Thunder basketball, I just think of watching them inside that arena and it's just filled with white all on the outside, like those white shirts. Like
Yeah.
And so yeah, no, it makes a difference though, and they are 100%. They're good at it. They're good as hell at it.
Yeah, I mean, again,
They're crazy.
not to bash on Oklahoma. That's like the one team they have there, and it's going to be the first professional sports team to win a chip if they do. It just looks sick no matter where you are. Like I guarantee the Pacers, when the Knicks walk in there, it's going to be all yellow.
Oh, 100%.
And no, that's just cool. I wanted to throw that out there because
sure.
I got into a stupid argument with someone about it, and yeah.
So where did the Nuggets go?
Where did the Nuggets go?
Well, you know what they need to do? They need to rip the Band-Aid off and trade Michael Porter Jr. for somebody.
That's what I was going to
They're
say.
gonna
I
have
think
to.
that's like the only thing they do.
I think they should.
Of,
Sorry.
no, I was just going to say like trade it.
I think they should
like
trade for KD.
Porter.
I think there are a bunch of teams that should trade for KD.
That's an idea that
I
I've
think
heard.
KD to Denver makes so much sense because he's a wing. He doesn't play a lot of defense, but Denver's a good enough defensive team.
With Jokic, he'll find
with
KD.
Jokic and
That
Jamal
would be-
Murray.
that'd
I mean,
be kinda crazy.
well, if they get KD, they might be the favorites.
They
in the
might be
West.
the
No, that'd be crazy.
That-
I'm not going to lie.
that-
That'd be kind of
and
crazy.
they
I'm
have
thinking
the
about it
baggage
now.
to do it.
Do they have the picks?
Yeah, they have the picks. They have the baggage to do it. The thing that annoys me is like KD is gonna want to go somewhere where he likes his coach. So who do they hire?
That's
And that's the biggest thing. Do they hire? Because I still think Mike Malone's the best head coach on the open market, and they're not hiring
Yeah.
him.
Bro, seeing him on
Who else is
ESPN
there?
threw me through a loop.
Yeah. Who else?
Oh, no, I was watching last night. I was like, my God, Mike
I
Malone.
said, that ain't who I think it
I
is.
said-
Like who are the other possibilities? Because I honestly, we weren't on the pod because we took a 2-week break. I sort of thought when Pop retired that Malone retired. They let go of Malone and Malone was going to go to San Antonio. I thought that would have been sick.
I know,
I like
yeah.
Nick Johnson a lot though. Pop, let me get that right.
Yeah.
Michael Malone's going to get a job, but for Denver, who else is there?
I mean, they
They might just hire Adelman.
Darvin
I
Ham.
was gonna say Adelman was the intern. I feel like
wasn't
they're
bad.
just gonna stick with Adelman.
And
Honestly,
that would
keep it
be
in
fine.
house.
Yeah, that would be fine. They need another star. They need another star.
Their main issue was agreement between coach and GM because what's his name, Booth was not getting along with Malone, and they couldn't come to agreement. He wouldn't play the players on the bench, so it's kind of like you just need your coach and your GM to be in sync, right? That's what you really need.
I fully agree with you with trading Michael Porter Jr., though, especially now that Christian Brown has turned into a very good wing that could play on both ends of the floor. Because if you're the Nuggets,
Christian Brown is nasty,
bro.
Give him the extension.
Dude, he
Trade
was
Porter.
great.
He showed me in that game 7.
Yeah.
I was like, dude,
this guy's different.
kid's
I already knew he was nice.
Do you guys remember
That white boy's a problem.
him in the second half of the national championship against Carolina. He's the reason I was crying after. Like,
he was nice at Kansas.
Nice. And you're the Nuggets, so you're running with the starting lineup next year. Jokic, Murray, Brown, and then 2 other guys. Go get a star, and then you're right back up there.
Oh yeah,
You're right back up there. And I still think, like, yeah, Shea won MVP. Yeah, Giannis exists. Jokic is the best player in the world right now. And so
100%.
yeah, and for them to do anything but reload, it would be a mistake for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's fair. Is it time for conference finals, or do we want to talk about the lottery very fast?
We can talk about the lottery. We should do it really quickly.
Quick lottery. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, guys, draft lottery happened. It was pretty insane. None of the teams with a 14% chance got a top 4 pick. That was the
nuts.
Wizards. It was the Wizards. Who was the other ones? Wizards.
The Nets.
Hornets.
The Nets didn't have 14. No. Jesus, I gotta pull up the NBA standings. We got me.
Sixers were up there.
The Wizards. No, it wasn't even the Sixers. Like, it was. I'm scrolling, pod. Oh, the Wizards, the Jazz, and the Hornets. None of them got top 3 picks. They all had a 14% chance.
Okay.
And then the top 4, Dallas Mavericks, 1.8% chance. They're gonna get Cooper Flag, presumptive number 1 overall pick.
The San
Antonio Spurs had a 1.6% chance for number 1. They jumped to number 2.
Yeah.
And then 3's Philly and 4's Charlotte. I mean, yeah, that's a lottery for sure. The Wizards get screwed. The Jazz get screwed.
Yeah.
The Nets got screwed. The Nets dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Raptors a little bit too. I mean, is the lottery rigged? I'm not saying it is, but like,
I feel like there's.
I don't know.
I don't
know.
think they actually rig it, but it's like you gotta wonder. Like
You gotta wonder.
Like,
That was literally Nico Harrison. Nico Harrison got his job saved because now he's getting Cooper Flag, who's a bona fide superstar already.
Yeah.
And so Nico Harrison can now say, "I traded Luka because that might have happened, and we got lucky."
And if he turns out to be one of the greatest players ever, he might have done something.
it might be. I saw like it sort of saved him his job. Like,
It'll just,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's rigged. It's really interesting because I just have this conspiracy theory that the commissioner has to lean on people to be like do this. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
We know that that's his job, but like I think behind the curtains he's like
yeah, I mean,
this series like
Yeah.
officiated differently.
you got to go back to the lottery where the Knicks got Ewing number 1, and that's when it started. And like, we're not gonna say it's rigged and stuff. There's just, you can make an argument that it is, and what do you do about it? There's nothing you do about it. But Cooper Flag in Dallas is gonna be cool. I do think Dylan Harper is gonna go to the Spurs, but that's a discussion for another time. And yeah, is there anything else we want to say about the lottery though? Like, I mean,
it was actually the most interesting thing is that the Bulls had the 12th chance,
Yes.
and they had a coin flip at 11, and then the pick didn't go because Mavericks were supposed to be 11, but then they went all the way to first, which was so crazy because Chicago could have had that number 1 pick.
It's crazy. And you guys don't follow hockey, but the same thing happened in the NHL lottery between the Rangers and the Islanders. Like, there was a 1-point difference. If the Islanders won 1 game, the Rangers would have gotten the number 1 pick. Like, it sucks. It sucks. And the Bulls missed out on Luka too. So those are 2 guys. The Bulls missed out on
Bulls are just
Luka.
unlucky.
Bulls were what was it? Half court shot away from
Yeah.
that's
Josh Giddey's half court
crazy
shot
work.
against our glorious Pookie Bear.
Crazy
Like,
work, bro.
P. Giddy does it again.
That's crazy. That's actually wild. That is so.
You ever
funny.
heard that?
P. Giddy.
I've never heard of Pete Giddy. I've heard of Josh.
Giddy,
I've heard of Josh Kiddey. I've never heard of Pete.
P. Giddy, dude. Come on now. P. Giddy, dude.
Jesus Christ. Hey, I guess conference finals now.
All right, conference finals. I mean, thoughts on game 1 last night? I think, there's not, like, kind of whooped their ass a little bit.
Yeah, it was
that run that
it wasn't.
Like you said, once you go up.
I told you, bro. I told you.
Yeah.
That's why they're so dangerous, and that's why I'm not going against them. Once they go up by 10, it's wraps, dude.
Yeah.
It's over.
I mean, 19 turnovers or 17, whatever the Timberwolves had, it didn't help,
And
obviously.
I mean, it doesn't help you lose Ant for a little bit in the beginning there. That kind of got him down a little bit.
But,
so
yeah, and but you could go to the games in the second round where the Nuggets didn't turn over the ball as much as the Thunder did, and the Thunder still belt to ask them.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what the Thunder are. And the Wolves might win a game or two, and maybe 3, maybe 4. I could see Anthony Edwards putting the team on his back, but you can't fall behind against the Thunder. And they lost 6 times at home all year.
yeah,
So you better take care of business on the home court and find a way to steal one, or
you gotta steal one.
you got to steal one.
The X factor is the turnovers.
Yeah.
That's the thing I thought of before when I was like, oh, T-Wolves, because the T-Wolves turned the ball over a lot in that series with Golden State. They turned the ball over a lot.
Yeah.
And so that's the difference is if you turn the ball over against OKC, they're not gonna they're not Golden State without Steph. So they will take advantage, and that's the thing is like when you turn the ball over, they can have about 3 guys that are always on the run.
Yeah,
always.
sure.
As soon as you cough that ball up, ball handler, then there's 2 guys running on the wings.
Oh, yeah.
Pass. That's how Jokic gets dunked on.
Yeah.
It also didn't help that Minnesota was 15 for 51 from 3. That's an absolutely ridiculous number. I mean,
They've been shooting bad.
They've been shooting
from
bad
3-point
for the entire
all
time.
playoff.
From the I mean,
They keep shooting.
Then they have to fix
the
it.
two that
I
the
don't
two
think
that
you can at this point.
The guys
but
that stand up to me, shout out Gorski. Gorski texted me that what's it called? Naz Reid and Dante were combined 3 for 25 from the floor. Those 2 guys coming off the bench, they're a reason why they're deep enough to beat the Thunder.
Absolutely.
And yeah, no, they were just bad last night. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
You're right. They've been shooting the 3 terribly all postseason.
It's been very bad.
all postseason.
Oh my God.
Very bad.
You know how many You know how many times the T-Wolves turned the ball over in the final game against the Warriors? Guess a number.
Final?
Yeah.
4.
20.
20?
They turned the ball over
Jesus.
20 times.
Yeah, Jesus.
20?
20.
And in the game they lost to the Warriors, didn't they turn it over like 25 times? Like, and they scored 88
turn the
points.
ball over at a crazy rate. Like they're just careless with the ball. I see Ant throw the ball away. At the end of the half, they had an opportunity to give Randall the ball, and he got the ball swiped from him. Like, like OKC does this where they take the ball from you and the Wolves will give you the ball. Yeah. Like they will hand you 20 turnovers.
And OKC is not a team you could do that against at all. I mean, the Warriors aren't either, but it didn't matter because they didn't have enough firepower. I mean, OKC clearly does.
Yeah, for sure.
Clearly
Absolutely.
does. Yeah.
So, predictions.
Before we start the predictions, if you guys got to handpick the finals right now, what would it be? Because I just want to say, or actually, I'll go first. Actually, I scratched that. That didn't happen. I want it so badly to be a Knicks-Wolves final, especially after
I like the Knicks-Wolves final
we've
for
talked about it. So many storylines. I mean, Ant first ring, Brunson first ring, Cat former team, Dante former team, Randall.
Yeah.
Pretty much drawn off. There's so many things there. And we'll talk about Eastern Conference in a second. I don't think the Wolves could beat the Thunder. I think, especially if they turn over the ball like this and don't shoot the 3 well, I just don't think it's possible. Yeah. And if you hold behind on OKC, you're pretty much screwed. I'm gonna go OKC in 6. Mm-hmm. OKC in 6. I feel comfortable saying that.
I'm the same way. OKC in 6. I was telling Toussaint about this yesterday. OKC is 6. Can't change my mind about it. Mm-hmm. I do like that. I like the storyline finals of like Wolves Knicks. It would absolutely that would be very, very good. But I want to see the best brand of basketball, and I think that'll be Thunder Knicks for sure. So
and don't get me wrong.
That's what I'm rooting for is Thunder Knicks.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The Thunder in the finals is an awesome storyline too.
Yeah.
So
I chose the Wolves in 7 before this. It'll probably be the Thunder. I probably felt that way before, but I felt like, to me, I mean, here's the thing. There's obviously 4 quarters of basketball. I just know Ant is so good, and sometimes he lights up the court. Sometimes he's just bad, and he just doesn't play as well as he's supposed to. And I think that's one of the factors. Like I said, the turnovers. I said Wolves in 7. It'll probably be the Thunder. Like, I'm realizing that it'll probably be the Thunder.
Yeah.
In terms of storylines, I wanted to be T-Wolves and Knicks because there's a whole bunch of storylines. Obviously, the trade, one of the most beneficial trades for both teams in history. I also like the fact that I would have also love to see Ant in the finals go to Madison Square Garden and chirp the Knicks fans. I would love that.
It's still possible. I mean, I'm not going to rule the Wolves out yet because Ant could go toe-to-toe with Shea, and they could in theory, they could shoot well. It's just
that's the thing about 3-point shooting is it appears out of nowhere and goes away at whatever time. And that's something people are figuring out is everyone wants to be Steph. Everyone wants to shoot the ball. Steph is Steph. He's an outlier behind anything, behind any metric, any sense of the game. You start getting to people who aren't Steph, the three will disappear on you. And so if you rely on that too much, that's why the Celtics fell this year. They shoot too many threes. And the T-Wolves, sometimes they shoot too many threes. That's Ant's critique. Is sometimes he shot 10 threes a game this year. So when you do that, you're subject to, in the playoffs, missing a lot because the defense is boosted for everybody. Everyone plays a different brand of basketball. It's more physical. So that you're not going to get the clean three that you get in the regular season. So, it'll probably be Thunder and Knicks is my prediction in terms of what most likely will happen.
Oh, we're doing Eastern Conference too now?
Do you want to preview it just real quick?
Yeah, we could preview it fast. Them Knicks.
You go ahead.
Yeah.
New Yorker.
Go New York, go New York.
Even though you're a Nets fan, he's a Nets fan.
I am a Nets fan, but I will say the Knicks are my second favorite team. Might be me bandwagoning, but Pops is a Knicks fan, friends are Knicks fans, so I'll enjoy it. The Knicks are in the conference finals for the first time in 25 years. The last time they were there was Reggie Miller, who said, "I own this arena," which was hilarious. The Knicks choked. The Knicks and Pacers is honestly one of the most underrated rivalries in the NBA. The last time they played 7-game series last year in the second round, Pacers went into Madison Square Garden, shot like 65% in Game 7, won that. 2013, the Knicks were the 2 seed with Melo, and Melo was having a crazy year, and the Pacers beat him in 6 with that was Roy Hibbert, Lance Stevenson, Paul George. But now, Knicks take down the Celtics, Pacers take down the Cavs. I don't think a lot of people thought that. I think the biggest key to this series, and I'm stating the most obvious thing, is it's Jalen Brunson. He's the best player in this series. And if Jalen Brunson plays good basketball, I can't see the Knicks. I could see the Knicks losing, and there's definitely a possibility. But if Jalen Brunson's the best player on the court, it's in their favor for sure.
For sure.
I think the X factor here is Cat. Unfortunately, it's so hard to rely on him because he's wishy-washy. Some games he drops 10 and he disappears. Some games he has 30. But the thing about Cat is like if he's on and feeling it, and he's like, I'm that guy, he's unstoppable. And nobody as good as the Pacers are good defensively. But there's nobody on that team that can stop Cat if he's going straight to the rack. And that's the thing I like about him during this postseason run. He's been at the rim. Like, he hasn't been settling for the 3 where he's been doing mostly in Minnesota. He hasn't been settling just for a tough shot. He's getting to the hoop, which I really appreciate that from him. You know, he's taking everything to heart, and he's upgraded his game. I think everyone has the Knicks. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers came in there and won pretty soundly. I know everyone knows Tyrese Halliburton. It was the most overrated player voted by all the players.
What the hell?
So, he's doing it big. He's 10 of 11 on clutch shots, and clutch shots are the last 2 minutes plus OT if it happens. So he's 10 of 11. He has the best percentage, and we saw in the Cavs series, two shots where he had to make it, and he did. He was the guy. So I don't have any faith. Like, these are going to be some really good clutch buckets going down the stretch in all these games.
Especially the way the Knicks are playing right now. Not only Brunson, but Mikal Bridges is playing good offensive basketball. OG Anunoby went for 29 in Game 1, and he could score the rock. You obviously have Cat, and then Josh Hart is one of the most invaluable players in the league. Like, I genuinely don't think this Knicks team is anywhere close without Josh Hart. And I got to say this, they were at my local bar in Westchester, Best Wings Candlelight Inn sponsor. The Pacers need contributions outside of Halliburton and Pascal Siakam, who leads them in scoring this postseason, because if the Knicks are getting scoring from Anunoby and Bridges, you got to get, if you're Indiana, Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Benedict Mathurin in the game. All those guys, because that is going to be the key for them, because Hallie's going to get his bag, Siakam's going to get his bag, just like Cat and Brunson are. I think it's these secondary contributors in the Knicks. That's why they traded R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley for OG. That's why they traded 6 first-round picks, or 5 maybe, for Mikal Bridges. It's all worth it if they make the finals, and those guys are playing well. And those guys right now are playing well. So if you're Indiana, It's about responding, and it's about their secondary production, and they're going to be ready for the moment. Like, they got swept in the conference finals last year. That's bulletin board stuff.
They are.
Wow, I talk a lot, guys. I'm learning that.
Yeah, and they didn't have Halliburton for those games. He was injured, so that's the other thing. Is like he'll be there for the Western Conference Finals for the first time in his career, and so like we talked about this earlier. I don't know. Listen, it normally comes in the semifinals, but I'm still waiting for it. I'm not hoping for it, but I'm waiting for that one player, OG's hamstring to fall off a bone, or Brunson to break something, or somebody to, ankle sprain or whatever, high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
But that's the most impressive thing to me for the Knicks is that they've stayed healthy because they've had the pieces. It's just we all know Tibbs runs his players down. And this is going to be a very gritty game, 7 games. So, like, can they handle it? Mm-hmm. I mean, Indiana they haven't really gotten super hurt this year. They've been pretty healthy as well. So, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I got Knicks in 6. I think.
I never even predicted it. I'll go last.
I think. I just my preview is the Knicks, like I said, have a vengeance about them. They lost to the Pacers last year, in 7, in Madison Square Garden. They weren't fully healthy. They come into the series fully healthy. Surprisingly, they're fully healthy. Like we said, that Tibbs curse, is it really a curse? Because it kind of does it to himself right there, playing all his starters for 40 minutes a night. But no, I just think I think they're gonna come in here hungry, man, and they know that they lost to Indiana. And I just, like I said, the difference is Cat. The difference is Cat, and I don't think Indiana has enough to stop Cat. Miles Turner is a very good center, don't get me wrong. But I don't think in a 7-game series he's containing Cat. I just don't.
Bro, Hunter Dickinson just posted on Twitter a job application like troll video. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But it's like an NIL thing. It's a funny thing.
But yeah, I mean, that's just where I'm at. I think Indiana, obviously, they lost in the conference finals last year too, so they are obviously want revenge. But the problem is they lost to Boston and beat New York to get there.
Yeah.
New York lost to Indiana, couldn't get to the conference finals. Now they're there. Mm-hmm. And I just think
you said Knicks in 6?
Yeah, I just think that it's going to be a vengeance thing, and New York's got it, and they. Like I said, difference
makers. Don't put vengeance
Cat.
in New York in the same sentence. That's the wrong city to put vengeance in. That's the E. It's Gotham if they.
Yeah, different makers is Cat, man. So I got Knicks.
They win the series. Joker might become a real possibility. Someone coming out of there.
And I want to see the finals go back to the Masters.
After you.
Knicks in 6. It's Knicks in 6 for me as well. I think they're only going to win 2 games. I think the Knicks are going to.
And Brunson, man.
Yeah.
Brunson, he's a dog. Dude.
You guys ready for me?
Best guard in the East.
It's gonna be my last.
Knicks in 7, but we'll see.
Okay. All right, Pod. If you didn't know this already, I'm from New York. Growing up, my dad would come home from work after working his ass off and throw in the Knicks, and I would go down every time and be like, "Why in the world are you watching the Knicks?" Because after they lost Melo, which, by the way, like I actually liked the Knicks when they had Melo, and then I jumped ship and became a Nets fan, which is probably the worst decision I've made in my sporting life. Mm-hmm. But then again, I'm a Jets fan and a Mets fan, so I'm not doing too hot. The Knicks were at the lowest of lows. Yeah. We're talking about Anthony Early, Kyle O'Quinn, Andrea Bargnani. There's so many others.
Quincy AC.
New York as a sports city has not had a championship since the Giants in 2012.
Cool.
And I've been saying this for a while. This New York would burn down the most if the Knicks won the title or even got there.
Yeah.
I was in the same Starbucks drive-thru when they traded for OG and when they traded for Cat. And I was in that same Starbucks drive-thru when they signed Brunson. And
that's everything you know about your
yeah, that's everything you gotta know.
My daughter was born.
But let me say this: this Knicks team, this might be their best shot at it. They are built for this. This is why this is worth every loss and every blowout for the past decade and 2 years since Melo. They are back, and they are tough. They have one of the best players in the league in Jalen Brunson. Knicks in 5. I think the Knicks blow out Indiana. I think that the Knicks not blow them out in games. I meant like inside a game. Like I don't think we're going to see a 10 or a 20-point thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Knicks win this in 5 games,
Okay.
and I don't think the Pacers will win in the Garden.
What the hell?
And I think the Pacers will win game 3 or 4.
In 5?
Knicks in 5.
Wow.
I'm going
Wow.
bold. And for every New Yorker watching this, every Knicks fan, I'm not trying to take the glory from you. I'm going to be happy too. You guys deserve this. So go New York, go New York, go. Knicks in 5.
That's a bold prediction.
Wow.
New York in 5.
Yeah.
I don't
Bold,
hate it.
Very bold.
I'll be bold. You guys know I'm pretty bold.
I just say that I didn't think Indiana had a fighting chance against Cleveland.
Yeah.
And they rolled right over
Man,
Cleveland.
they rolled, dude. They
Yeah.
look good.
I think I'm gonna change it to Knicks in 7. I think it's gonna be a 7-game series
Yeah.
because I think there's gonna be some times where
I can see it go
down the stretch and Halliburton hits that shot. So
If the Knicks make the finals, we got to do a TalkBall Tweakers episode at Pops' office next to the Garden. You guys could come and we could do that.
just call up Jalen Brunson.
It'd be fire.
Yeah, we could do that.
That'd be so
We
fun.
got to get there, knock on wood. But New York, y'all deserve this. Y'all fucking deserve this. And so, yeah, I'm putting my balls to the wall. Knicks in 5.
Balls to the wall. Bite. Nope. Should we do Tweaker of the Week?
Yeah,
Do Tweaker of the Week.
yeah. He has some pretty good tweaker of the week.
Could I go first?
Yeah, I don't have one right now.
Tweaker of the week.
Go ahead.
For me, Timothy Chalamet. You are awesome. You are getting groomed to be the next Spike Lee. It's cool seeing you half court. You convinced two Jenners who grew up, I can't even come up with a word, who grew up in LA, go to Lakers Clippers game. You turn them into diehard Knicks fans, and then you're on the streets of New York partying with everyone that worked at 9 to 5. That's really cool. No matter where you're from, and I'm sure even Celtics fans found that cool. So, Timothy Chalamet, you are my tweaker of the week.
I really want to give it to Hunter Dickinson for doing this
saw it?
LinkedIn
Do it.
shit.
Yeah,
but-
do it.
Yo, that's so funny.
No, because I think it's like a troll. I think it's like a brand.
Yeah,
I think it's
absolutely.
like
It
I think
absolutely
it's
is.
a
But he's
deal.
gonna need that job
It's a
application.
deal, though.
He's gonna need that job.
Well, they're paying him to do that video, so
Yeah. Good luck paying your rent for him.
I can't really call him a
I didn't say he's
tweaker of the week.
I didn't say he was. Oh,
You know,
made it sound like he was this. Never mind.
no.
Yeah, LinkedIn definitely paid him a lot to do this, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's hilarious.
Where should I go?
He's done with school. Stop the NIL. Stop it. Oh, you know who I'll give tweaker of the week to? AJ DeBonsa. You wanna know why?
I was talking to him last week.
You saw that picture on Twitter?
Yeah.
Where he was at the Church of Latter-day Saints?
Yeah, dude.
And someone was like, NIL is so crazy. Listen, I don't want to give him tweaker of the week because I don't think he's a tweaker. But going to BYU and showing up to the Church of Latter-day Saints
Dude.
as a dark-skinned family is hilarious, objectively. That is hilarious. He's going to church with a bunch of Mormons for $7 million.
Dude.
I don't really think he's a tweaker, but
Don't get me started about AJ. I
he's
do
a
love
good,
it.
he's a good guy. He's
I
a
do
good
love
guy.
it.
I don't want to
Get
call him
ready to
tweaker of
learn
the week.
Milwaukee, buddy.
That's funny.
I just had one.
Oh, you know who I'm going to give tweaker of the week to?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to give tweaker of the week to everybody who voted to ban the tush push. That's what I want to do.
Damn it.
Oh, you're going to do that?
That was a good one.
Oh. And here's the reason why.
That's a real good one.
I got to outline this.
That was a real good one.
I get why people don't like it. People say it's not a TV, it's not suitable for TV, it's not a football move, it's a rugby move, it injures players. How about you get a better defensive line? How about that? Right?
Facts.
The
Get
Eagles
physical.
do it the best, and the Buffalo Bills do it the second best. Why? Because the Eagles have the best general manager that has an O-line that is nowhere. They're all 6'7", 300 pounds. Then their quarterback can bench 500 like a damn lineman. So when you do that, and then you get a running back behind them, they're always gonna make that work. If you want to stop the Eagles, which they are one of the most dominant teams in the league right now, how about you build your defensive line to stop it instead of complaining? It is football move, rugby move. You don't want to put it on TV. I don't care. You got to stop it. First of all, you talking about injury. How about you learn to defend the play correctly? Because it's been stopped before. It's not like this is 100% positive. It's been stopped. There is a way to stop it.
Yeah.
Instead of complaining and the owners vote and saying, oh, well, we want to ban it. Matt LaFleur. Yeah, him, for example, because he's been whining a lot. I like Sean McVay. He's been whining a lot. Listen, whether you like it or not, whether it injures players, you got to stop it before you can ban something. Unless it's just like I get when they banned the 3-point shot for Kareem, it was or the dunk for Kareem, it was like because he was just putting the ball in the hoop. How about you build your team better?
Yep.
How about you stop it? There was only 10 teams that didn't vote against it. You want to know why the Lions can't do it? Because Jared Goff can't bench 500 pounds. You want to know why the Jags can't do it? Because they have a terrible offensive line. You want to know why the Browns can't do it? Because they suck. All these teams that vote against them, they suck.
Yep.
You can't beat it, so you vote against it. Stop it. How about you become mentally tougher and stop it? How about that? All right? I'm sick and tired of people talking about that.
Facts.
Like if it's a 4th and 1 and a team has the personnel to run a play better, that's like saying, well, we're going to ban a certain play because the Dolphins have too many fast players. What? No, you can't do that.
I'm gonna give mine to Robert Griffin III.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
But I'm not gonna lie. I'm also gonna give it to Ryan Clark though.
No,
too. I'm gonna give it to both of them. I think both of them just need to shut the fuck up. I do, honestly.
Saibao.
So they turned a situation about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark that really, honestly, at the end of the day, it wasn't that serious.
It turned into
I think everybody was just blowing it out of proportion. It was a hard foul. Get over it. It's basketball. It happens every day. It happens every day in the NBA. Like, okay, it's fine. Whatever. So yeah, I wanna get that because they got personal. They got
way too
personal. Very personal.
Very quick too.
Very quick. And I mean, who started it getting personal? Did Ryan Clark?
Ryan Clark started the personal.
Because. Yes, so that's what it was. Because Robert Griffin III was defending Caitlin Clark.
Yep.
And
which
Ryan
he didn't need to do because Caitlin Clark definitely needs defending.
Yeah, right.
Because Caitlin Clark is someone that needs defending. Man, she just won a hoop.
Exactly. I mean,
just let her
hoop, dog.
Stop talking about her. Let her hoop.
So Robert Griffin III defends Caitlin Clark. Ryan Clark has an issue with that and basically brings up Robert Griffin III's white wife.
Yeah, that was insane.
That's a little too far. Now, on the other hand, though, Robert Griffin III chirps back. He puts a whole
Pod, I don't know if you could see this. Look at all the scrolling.
Yeah. All what he wrote.
He puts a medieval times note about a king.
Bro, he wrote
he's announcing the king.
He wrote a damn essay to reply to that.
For real. Like that could have been my final paper for for my midterm. And he gets real personal in that one. And then now at this point they're on Twitter arguing about white milk.
Yeah.
Code word, white woman. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? But at the same time, though, why I start with Robert Griffin III, why I give it to him first, other than Ryan Clark, is because
old tweets.
His old tweets.
Wilding.
His old tweets are wild.
Super Saiyan Milkman?
Every time he talks about his wife, he posts his wife on Twitter, he says white milk. Always. And he says how he is just a milk concierge. He just loves white milk. Absolutely loves white milk. It's crazy. It's insane. So
his tweets
and then Ryan Clark had a baby with a white woman.
I know. That's why I was like, why are you talking?
So what?
Just a hypocrite. He can't say anything back.
Cam Newton just posted his opinion. I'm so excited to watch that. That is the guy that was just like, this guy knows.
Yeah, Cam Newton's going to have a good
The funny thing is that people kept exposing RG3 and going back through his old clips when he was like ESPN. He used to wild out on TV and say some wild things.
Yeah, dude.
Some wild. Even who was his partner? Mark. I can't remember them. The guy that used to partner with him on games.
Oh,
black guy, short, kind of.
Black guy.
Yeah.
Which games?
Oh, college football.
Yeah, it's like Mark something. He's well known. I can't remember his name for whatever reason. But there are some clips with him where like even he's like, what did you just say? Why did you say that? We're on national TV.
Nah, he was a wild.
Sometimes he's wild.
Yeah, RG3 used to say some crazy things.
He used to say some nutty things.
I thought my dome was orgy and then some.
Yeah,
that was not needed at all.
I remember I was watching that live, and me and my boys was like, "What?" He was like, "What did he just say?"
Yeah,
he just say orgy in the end zone.
Yeah, he was reckless with his
crazy.
Words. Didn't he say something and have to apologize for it?
Oh yeah,
it was something about being African American. I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
He called somebody. He called him the jig. They call him a.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
No, there's literally a clip of him saying that. He said, get that But he said it like he was like trying to compliment a player, and he said that, and I think that was it. He was like, "My bad, I didn't mean to like say that." Like he didn't understand that that's a slur. Like you can't say. Yes,
he said jigaboo.
Yes,
on Monday Night Countdown.
Yeah.
I remember I was watching
God.
the game, and I was like, "RG3, you can't say that."
Yeah, you cannot, dude. What? Yeah, that happened.
You said that Jalen Hurts couldn't get it done. He couldn't operate from the pocket. He's not the quarterback of the future. I think he proved all those jigaboos wrong.
Like, what is that?
Dude.
See what I'm saying?
Dude.
You can't say that.
Dude.
What are you, Mike Tirico?
No, that's
like,
insane.
What?
No, that's insane. That's crazy work. That's so crazy.
That's what I'm saying. He said some wild things on TV.
He's a wild dog, man. They're still going at it, dog. Like Ryan Clark's posting now. Ryan Clark's forced to post his biracial daughter on Twitter.
Wow, this is getting too. This is
crazy.
This is like the watered down version of Pusha T and Drake.
Bro,
like we don't care. Like you gotta stop.
This is crazy, dude.
Do you guys know the meme where it's I ain't reading all that. I'm happy for you though, or sorry
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah.
Those are all the comments
I
on this.
skimmed that because I didn't read everything that he did in there. I wasn't reading through that whole thing.
So yeah, I give it to both of them, honestly.
Now they're both tweaking.
Both
it was
of
like,
them.
I was like, why are we? No, they both. Because
Like,
at first he was
they
like,
turned-
Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark.
They turned a sports debate into a fight about white women.
I know they turned a
White
WNBA
milk.
about their wives and their baby moms.
White
like,
milk.
stop
Okay,
it,
dog.
Nobody cares.
So I don't know.
IG3, I'm no offense. I'm glad he got left from ESPN. He was wild.
He was
He need to
wild,
stop.
He's going to Fox Sports.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
God.
our colleagues.
Oh yeah, because Fox needs RG3 right now.
To be honest, people who transfer from
'Cause
ESPN to
Fox
Fox are less reckless though. Like Paul Pierce cleaning up his image.
Yeah, but that's
Sure.
also because he sits next to Nick Wright.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. But he had to clean up his image because it was like after that
Yeah,
Instagram
yeah.
live,
The
it
last
was like
person Fox Sports needs is RG3 right now.
that's what I'm saying. But they got Paul
That's
Pierce,
crazy.
and Paul Pierce was wilding on IG Live.
They got some wild boys over
Yeah,
there.
dude.
They got LaShawn McCoy over there.
Wasn't he part of the
wild
beef
boys
too
over
at some
there.
point?
Shady?
Someone was like, they're all cornball. Because Shady replied.
Shady tweeted and was like, "Can these cornballs shut the hell up?" or
Someone was
something
like, "You're
that.
a part of them, buddy." Someone was like, "You're a part of them."
So, but that's all we got for y'all. Episode 20/20. I don't even know. It's whatever.
Something.
Something like that.
20 some.
20 some. As always, run up socials, TikTok, Instagram. We'll get some more clips up for y'all after this episode for sure.
Last thing, trending on Twitter right now, Nixon 5.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Just thought I'd put that out there.
So
You're welcome.
Nixon.
Don't lose tonight. You should win tonight.
Yeah, better win tonight. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Or else there's gonna be some more Halliburton fans assaulted outside.
Exactly. But yeah, comment your pick to win the finals. Now that there's 4 teams left, comment who you think is gonna take the trophy home. And that's all. As always, stay fly. Wrong button, dude.
I don't know what.
Wrong button. Hit the.